Man United 4, Real Sociedad 0. Do I say through? I do say through to the next round, Rick.
Yeah, sure.
Through to the next round in what could have been a tricky game. A really good performance, some really good individual performances. Do you know what? Do I just start where everyone's going to probably think you're going to start? Let's just talk about Dan James, Rick.
I thought he had a fine game, absolutely. Top game. He's dead. I'm fed up of hearing people say no football intelligence. I saw him nick a ball on the edge of our own box and play an instant pass. I saw him chasing a ball down towards their corner flag that he reversed past it 30 yards without turning. And he looks like a genius to me, not stupid. And
Dan James, a genius.
Obviously, the one he made the chance for Marcus that Marcus should have buried as well. You know what I mean? And he ends up getting a goal. And yeah, dead chuff for him. I thought he had a really good game. And I like wingers, mate. I love proper wingers. And look, Mason's been playing on the wing for us. Mason hasn't had a game as good as that for a long time. You tell me when Mason played as well as that on the wing. You know what I mean? I don't get it, mate. I don't get it.
So, do I even ask? So, I feel like I don't even need to ask you, but I do. So, he needs to play more. Like you said, I saw your tweet, said he needs more game time.
He definitely should get more game time. But I've been saying that for ages, and this one game doesn't make any difference to that. I've said to you time and time again, Flex, that he overrates the starting players and underrates, as do most of the fan base and as do most of the pundits. You know, I've heard the likes, well, I won't say in particular, but I've heard ex-United players on the TV. Well, I'll tell you what, I will name one. I've definitely heard Gary Neville say it a couple of times.
I was going to say, Rick, just say it.
I've said a couple of times, the gap between the starting 11 is that big that he doesn't trust the subs. Well, he's right that he doesn't trust the subs, but he's wrong that the gap's that big. He's miles out. The gap isn't that big. And in some cases, the subs are better than the players who are starting. Or better at certain things, Flex.
Better at certain things. I agree. I think in a game like today, what I did see from halftime, you know, I expected a lot more of a difficult game from Real Sociedad. I don't know about you. I predicted a 2-2. I thought it'd be really tough. But you could see, and this is talking about the game in general now, you could see from very early on, I know we had a shaky 5 minutes and it was a bit open, but you could see that their centre-backs did not want any of it, with Rashford running down one side, James running down the other, balls over the top. Bruno, let's get on to Bruno, Rick. I have to say, some of the criticism that you've labelled at Bruno, even though his numbers have been good and he's always having a good say, was just the way he looks after the ball. And although we haven't been in good form, I think it's fair to say that he's looking after the ball a lot more. And another fantastic performance from him today. 2 great goals.
Miles better today. Absolutely, you know, took his goal as well, like you say. But you definitely can't level it in today that he was playing lots of stupid passes and doing stupid flicks. You know what I mean?
And the finishes, though, Rick. I mean, I know you don't really buy into one player absolutely smashing it. You more buy into if the team does X, Y, Z, then the team does well. But just on him, I know you don't really like to, but on him, it's phenomenal what he's doing in terms of what he's keeping up.
As people call it, the numbers he's putting up are astonishing.
They're insane.
And you can't you can't put a value on having somebody that can do things like that. But at the same time, I'm an absolute stickler for the team playing well, and I do believe that if the teams are spread around, so long as you do get the same, obviously you don't know if you are. Once games go by, you don't know what would have happened if you'd have done something differently, do you? Well, let's look back at the last, rather than looking back months and months. Let's just look back at the last 5 or 6 games. It hasn't been going well, has it? So in the last 5 or 6 games, it might have gone better if we'd have had a player looking after the ball better. But tonight, he did look after the ball better.
Even in these bad games we've been playing bad, he's still been an integral part. And
you hit the nail on the head. An integral part of a team that's been playing badly. Do you know what I mean? So,
in getting us something is that if it goes to this, and this is what I keep saying about the coaching. If you took regardless of how he plays and how you want him to play, if you took him out of this current Man United team. I know you don't agree because you're saying take him out, put Van der Beek there, no problem. I get it for you, in your opinion. I'm saying if you take Bruno out of this team now, God knows where we'll be. We'd be shit. I'm saying we'll be shit. I honestly do think that. I know we might look after the ball a bit better or whatever, but coaching-wise, that comes from the coaching about how to play. And he is just so integral and he's improving because he frustrates me sometimes. But
he's played better today. But Flex, I cannot disagree with you more about us.
I know you do. I know you do.
You know, we would look. I've got no doubt in my mind whatsoever that we would play better. Now, whether we'd score as many goals, I don't know. You can't say that for certain. That's the game. You know, you don't know what's going to happen in a game. But I can tell you for absolute certain. Well, the way he played against West Brom, he must have given the ball away 25 times.
But this is what. Listen, I tweeted the same thing. Bruno having a stinker, then bang. Because who else was going to produce anything at that moment?
We shouldn't be relying on that, Flex. We don't.
No, we shouldn't. That's not Bruno's fault. Bruno's fault.
It partly is his fault because he's giving the ball away so much. Of course, it's partly his fault. We need to play better. And we need to make more chances.
That comes from the coaching, Rick. The coaching. My thing is, Rick. Yeah, I can see flaws in players' games. 100%. Was I, frustrated at Marcus Rashford in that first half? Should have scored both. Definitely should have scored the second. Very good chance to score the first. Couple of times running at players again. Common theme: tripping over, not making the right choice. Then he gets an assist. Exactly. I understand the flaws in players' games, but what I'm saying is the flaws for me are being highlighted from the lack of system in place. Like I don't personally. I think if you put Bruno under like the Pep or the Pochettinos or the whatever managers you want to say, and we play in a different way, I think we get way more out of what we got.
If he was playing for City, they would. To start with, they wouldn't wear it in playing like that. You know, it'd
change. It would
either have to change, or he wouldn't be in the team.
Make no mistake. So that proves it's the coaching, because the demands would be different. The way of playing. When the ball breaks to Sterling and it comes back to you, and you keep doing a mad shot, Pep's going to say, no. This is what we do in this situation. Correct. And I think that we just don't have that. So that's what I mean. Anytime you go at the players that are not playing, doing the things you like to see, I'm just like. It's the system, it's the coaching more so than the individuals, because the individuals are doing their own thing. But in terms of the tie, though, like you said, 4-0, we can't ask for more than that. Put the tie to bed. Good to see young Ahmad come on. I mean, surely in the second leg, start him on one side, Dan James on the other, Matter at number 10.
Got to say about that kid that come on, Ahmad, he got the ball on the touchline. Did he beat a man or just take? I can't remember if he beat a man on this occasion or just took a good touch, but he's got his head up and he sees Anthony Marshall 20 yards in field and fires it right into his feet.
Rick likes that. Rick, any player who finds Anthony Marshall, Rick's like,
yeah, you're right. But it's just the fact that he's playing with his head up and he's seeing somebody who's free inside. You know, we've got some players who don't do that, Flex. You know,
Yeah, I'm on him. I think that's been a bit of a frustration in terms of just give him a go. You know, you don't play for Atlanta in the Champions League at 16, 17 if you don't have a bit about you. You don't get bought for that money. You don't know if he's going to go on to be a great success. I hope he is, but you don't get a chance at that if you're not at it. I thought Scott McTominay was bright again today. I like with Scott McTominay. I know you've always rated him. I know you have. I know you've liked his stature and how his physicality. But are we seeing him kind of just grow into his role that bit more in terms of arriving late, making runs? Are we, like Solskjaer said in a couple of games ago, I think it was the West Ham game after that, we need to unleash Scott. And for him to say that sort of made me think maybe he's starting to realise he's not just a defensive like a Matic who just sits there and sorts things out. He can go.
He's got great energy and he's got pace. He's like you say, he's got physicality. He can get beyond people. He can get beyond people just by touching it out of his feet. And
he does that really well.
And he gets his arm across somebody. And he can't get round him. He's too big. He did it once today and ended up getting a shot in, didn't he? And the keeper did well to save it.
Great ball from Bruno, that, by the way, as well.
Say that again. Was that
Bruno played another ball to Dan James outside the right to him. James wins the foul. Brilliant. Anyway, enough Bruno. But I think he also put James through when he hit the keeper's leg.
You know, and there might be some people saying that chance was nowhere near as good a chance as the other chances that we missed. That was, you know, it was coming right from the wing.
That was all right. Yeah, that was hit a good save.
A respectable effort rather than a missed chance. I thought that one.
Yeah,
but Scott McTominay, getting back to him, he's coming on a treat. He really is. Like we've said, he's added goals to his game. He's got more goals this season already than he's ever scored in a season. And I know people always having a go at me. You said it don't matter who scores. I was going to say this about. I need to try and explain. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter who scores, so long as somebody does. But I think that's the way to look at it before the game. Once the game has happened. Like, there's no harm saying, wow, Bruno done great today. He scored 2 goals. Fantastic. Yeah, that's okay once the game has happened. But before the game starts, I don't care who scores. Don't care.
Can I ask you a serious question, Rick? I think this is, because we've won and we're happy, I think it's just good to have a good chat, actually. Because you know what it's like on social media. You see the tweets that people, they at you, and then you'll come back and say, I've seen loads saying this and I've seen loads saying that. Just clear it up for the viewers. This is for the viewers' sake. People always say to me, Flex, why don't you ask Ricky more about this and more? It's about the viewers. You see your situation with Martial, James, Mata and Matic. Are you being serious in terms of you think like all those guys should play because they're like your favourites? Or is it like a little bit of like you kind of buy into it because they are your favourites, or you are looking at it all the time from a footballing perspective and saying, if these 4 players played more in our team, Manchester United would be a better team? And that's an honest question.
Matic has got to play all the time. Martial's got to play all the time. Juan's hardly been getting a look in for ages. There's some strange things been going on that I don't quite get. You know, even people who don't rate him, I don't think too many people would turn around and say, oh, he was letting us down when he was getting 20 minutes here and 20 minutes there. Would you say that? Do you know what I mean?
No, I like Mata. I think there's horses for courses, and he can.
Suddenly he's getting 10 minutes when we're 3-0 up, and you know he's not been on the pitch bit for ages before that.
He'll be gone by the end of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, he's going to be gone. Of course he is. But because he's not been playing for ages, I'll tell you what. Let's answer your question like this. If you'd have asked me this question 12 months ago, I would have said yes. Mata's got to be in the team. How fit he is right now, how he'd carry on right now, I don't know. I'm sure he's a thorough professional. I'm sure he keeps himself perfectly fit. But there's nothing like match fitness, playing matches for match fitness. So whether I would agree Mata's got to be in the team now, I wouldn't necessarily say so. But certainly, if you'd have asked me 12 months ago, he'd have been one of the first names on my team sheet. And Matic still would be. Matic, similarly, by the way, he was getting, like, again, I think he played at Burnley. I think he played at Everton. All decent wins. I think, was it Wolves at Old Trafford?
Yeah, Sheffield United. He wasn't good in that game, but he played in the first Sheffield United game.
I think he's had 1 game. I think he had 3 games out of 5 or 3 games out of 6.
He's not been playing a lot.
And then didn't play for about 7 games. And then I think he put him in against Sheffield United when he'd not picked him for about 7 games. You need to play him more often. That's the thing. You know what I mean?
And Martial is your favourite, anyway.
Martial's fantastic. You must be able to see the difference when Martial.
I was going to say when he came on and he done that little thing where
Rolls Royce. He's like a Rolls Royce compared to the other players, mate. He's different gravy.
What do you say? Actually, Rick, this is interesting. While I got you, what do you say to people who are saying it's all great hold up play, link up play, nice touch? He doesn't hit the back of the net enough. He's not prolific. We're going to need a striker that's prolific. We're going to need a Haaland, a Kane, an Mbappe, a prolific striker. Do you think that Martial's had enough time to prove that he can be a prolific number 9, or do you just like his hold-up play? What's your honest thoughts on that? I know he is your favourite.
I do think playing with a better team. He scored 23 goals for us last season. He scored 17 goals in his first season. So I think he is capable of scoring, and he's obviously, if he can score that many, he can score more. Surely that's a fact. It might never happen, but surely, if you can score 23, you can score 28, can't you? Do you know what I mean? So if he was playing for a better team, if he was playing for City, he'd get 30 goals. Do you know what I mean? Simple as that to me.
Would he get that?
We don't make enough good chances. And he's the type of player, this is something else that people don't quite grasp. I'm not even suggesting that he's going to get the assists, but he looks after the ball better, like all City's players do. If you watch City against Everton last night, give it, go. Martial could play for them and you wouldn't see the difference. if any of our other players played for them, you would see the difference. And Pep would be giving them the curly finger, saying, "We don't do that here, Marcus. We don't run down blind alleys here. You get hold of the ball, you pass it, and you move. Bruno, you don't keep knocking it 30 and 40 yards and shoot. Come off, and then we'll get in training, and then we'll see if you can get back in the team." But Martial would go into their team, and they wouldn't need to tell him anything. He'll just play like them.
Because of the way that he plays the game.
He plays like they play. And for us to get to that level, we need more players like him, not more players like the other players.
Oh, Rick, I really love it.
I mean, I've not watched that Ahmad yet in the under-23s, but what I saw of him how long did he get? 8 minutes or something?
10 minutes, yeah.
What I saw of him in that little thing that he did right away on the edge of my seat, I like that. So that
You've heard it first.
A young kid coming in the team and seeing that ball in field from the touchline. Well, I did. I went, wow.
You've heard it here first. Yeah. Ahmad is going to be the new Dan James to Rick. Rick has approved it.
I hope it's, look, I hope it's not a one-off. I can't imagine it is.
Yeah, no, that's how he's a smart player from what we've seen so far. Last two questions, Rick. The first one is, if Harry Maguire, I'm doing a little bit of a trivia of what I think the fans would ask you, the viewers would ask you. If Harry Maguire was not the captain, who would you make the captain? Would it be Dan James or Martial or something like that?
This is like a Sunday night show. This is
because we've won 4-0. I just feel like just asking random questions. Who would you give the captaincy to? Just want to know.
Normally, my first choice captain would be Matic, but he's not getting in the team enough, is he? So
no. You got to pick someone that plays, Rick. You got to pick someone that plays.
Luke Shaw.
I like that. And secondly, who was your man of match today to finish off?
Dan James, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Look at that. Not Bruno. Not Bruno, who put Dan James in loads. He scored 2 goals. Not Bruno. It's Dan James. No surprises there.
Yeah, people, I'll tell you what, here's one for all the stat merchants. He got a goal, he got an assist, and Marcus robbed him of an assist as well.
Oh, Rick, listen, please. I mean this with the bottom of my heart. Never change, Rick.
Okay.
Never change. Nice one. Take care.